Fasting will seem to be the quickest way to lose fat. But for every pound you lose, 60% is muscle and only 40% is fat. This is not acceptable to somebody trying to build a solid structure of lean body mass. You actually lose more muscle than fat. In bodybuilding terms, losing fat weight involves maintaining your protein levels while cutting back on all other caloric intake. You increase the caloric deficit by adding more aerobic exercise to your program and thus burning up more energy. It is hard to say how many calories you need to eat in order to lose weight because of so many variables, such as body type, body weight, level of exercise, and natural metabolism. Except that you need to put your body into caloric deficit to burn off more energy than you take in from your food. This is often mostly a matter of trial and error. For example, if you write down what foods you are eating and find they add up to 3,000 calories a day, and you are maintaining your body weight with this amount, you can try cutting back to 2,500 or 2,000 calories a day in order to create a caloric deficit and lose body fat. You can also increase your level of physical activity to burn off additional energy. If you have a very slow metabolism, you might have to cut back further to 1,600 or 1,800 calories. As I said, this is a matter to a great degree of personal experience and experiment. But the rule is simple. To lose fat, you have to cut back on calories, increase exercise, or both. However, I can tell you the maximum amount you can diet if you are trying to lose absolutely as much fat as possible, without sacrificing muscle tissue. This is the formula. Number 1. Continue to eat a sufficient amount of protein, at least 1 gram of protein for each pound of body weight. On days in which you are training, the demand is somewhat less on your rest days. Number 2. Eat low fat, about 20% of your total daily caloric intake. But research shows supplementing your diet with 6 grams, 6 1-gram capsules of fish oil each day lowers body fat and increases muscle mass with no change in diet. Number 3. Reduce your carbohydrates as far as possible without going into a state of ketosis. And finally, number 4. Try to do 45 minutes to an hour of aerobic training 4 or 5 times a week. If you continue to eat enough protein and you are not in a ketonic state and therefore are not using an excessive amount of amino acids for energy and your fat intake is reasonably low, you are then dieting as hard as you can without suffering from nutritional or caloric deprivation. Remember, the amount of carbs you need to stay out of ketosis will vary depending on how much exercise, weight training plus aerobics you are doing. So if you are planning to diet hard, you need to be prepared to check whether you're in ketosis on a regular basis. Remember that carbohydrate is in no way bad for you or particularly fattening. The reason you cut way back on ingestion of carbs when you are dieting is to keep your overall caloric intake, except for protein, to a minimum.